Welcome back. It's Wake Up Nigeria, and we still have a host of things coming to you this morning.
Izefua Ehia Williams will be joining us to talk about preparing ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally for the new school year. Mike will be bringing us the latest in entertainment news.
And finally, Melvin Odua will be joining us on the couch for a chat. But it's the top of the hour, and of course, you know how we do it. It's the news update with Ike.
Right, thank you. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo was in Benue to visit people displaced by flooding following days of torrential rainfall. Osinbajo arrived at the capital, Makurdi, and was received by state government officials. He met traditional monarch and headed straight to the internally displaced persons camp, where he delivered President Muhammadu Buhari's message to the displaced persons. He told them that the president was concerned about the flooding and wants a permanent solution to the problem. The floods have led to the displacement of thousands and the collapse of the road linking Benue to Nasarawa State. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Walter Onoha, says that he is open to investigation. His reaction is coming after reports alleged that he is among high-profile Nigerians under investigation by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The EFCC had, however, denied that it was investigating him. In a statement issued on Wednesday, Awasam Bassett, that's the media aide to the CJN, said that his principal was not aware of an investigation because he had not been invited for interrogation by the anti-graft agency. Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha says those responsible for the murder of Catholic priest Reverend Father Callistus Onunkwo of Osina in Ideato, North Local Government area of the state, have now been arrested. Speaking to journalists at the Government House, Governor Rochas Okorocha commended the police for their work in apprehending the alleged killers within a short period of time. The governor, however, expressed worry that those arrested are also those saddled with the responsibility for maintaining law and order in the society. He assured that no criminal in the state would go scot-free if they commit any crimes. Now, the new Commissioner of Police in Lagos State, Imohimi Edgal, has promised to ensure that all Nigerians who are resident in Lagos are protected by his officers. In his first meeting with journalists, the new commissioner says that he was willing to work with other security agencies, including vigilantes and, of course, the citizens in achieving his goal of a safer Lagos. According to him, having spent years working in the state, he has the map of eradicating crime and ensuring businesses thrive in the state. The Alliance for Democracy has passed a vote of no confidence on its national chairman, Joseph Avazi, and approved his immediate suspension. This decision was reached at the end of its National Executive Committee meeting in Abuja that held on Wednesday. Avazi was accused of gross misconduct, anti-party activities, and turning the party into a family business, illegally engaging his brother to carry out responsibilities of the National Secretary of the party without its consent or approval. The neck of the party, in the meantime, mandated Ayodele Ismail to act as National Secretary pending the outcome of ongoing investigations on Avazi. The meeting also adopted the new logo of the AD. Well, that's the update. We bring you a weather update to help you, of course, plan the rest of your day. And then after then, Yomi and Titi will be back again.
Time now for the sports update, and Super Mike is back.
Okay, thank you very much, Yomi
Hey,
and Titi. And of course, the Tigresses of Nigeria have emerged as one of the biggest climbers in the latest FIBA World Ranking for women, following their FIBA Women's AfroBasket 2017 success. After that memorable outing in Bamako, Mali, where they stormed past Senegal to land the coveted silverware, Nigeria have now moved up 8 places to 34th in the world and 5th in Africa. Now, despite losing their title to Nigeria's the Tigresses, Senegal remain Africa's #1 ranked team, but 17th in the world. They are 1 spot ahead of Angola, who are 2nd in Africa and also the world, respectively. Mali are 3rd in Africa and 24th in the world, while Mozambique occupy the 4th spot on the continent, but 25th in the world. Cameroon, Ivory Coast, Egypt, Guinea, and DR Congo complete the top 10 in that particular order. Meanwhile, there's no change to the world top 4, with the #1 ranked USA once again, followed by Spain, France, and Australia. But there's a notable shift for Canada, who moved up 1 place to 5th after overhauling Czech Republic, who dropped to 6th place. Canada won the FIBA Women's AmeriCup against hosts Argentina. Turkey, Serbia, Brazil, and China complete the world top 10. The Chipolopolo of Zambia have brightened their chances of picking Group B's ticket to the 2018 World Cup ahead of the Super Eagles with a surprise 1-0 away victory over Algeria. The Copper Bullets shut down any hope the Algerians had of reaching the World Cup in Russia with a 66-minute goal by Patson Dakar. The win brings the Zambians to 2nd place in Group B with 7 points, just within 3 points touching distance of Nigeria. Now, Zambia would have to win their 2 remaining games and hope Nigeria's slipper for them to pick up one of the continent's tickets ahead of the Super Eagles. Now, Yomi, I want your take on this. There are 2 matches left to be played, and Zambia are 3 points behind us. They are playing us next here.
They're hoping that we slip and we lose both matches, right?
We're playing 1 against them. If they beat us, then we might just not qualify. It's very dicey.
It's a scary thought.
It is.
But I think we're going to beat them.
Okay, all right.
I'm not worried.
Okay, all right. UEFA President Alexander Seferin has backed plans by the Premier League to shut down the transfer window before the start of a new season. Club bosses will vote this week on a proposal to close the window early, a move which will leave it out of line with the standard FIFA dates. Now, it is understood the majority of the top-flight clubs currently favor an earlier closure of the window. The new plan requires 14 votes to force the change, which will likely lead to the Football League following suit. And then, of course, onto tennis. The US Open could be an all-American affair in the semi-final after 8-time Grand Slam winner Venus Williams knocked out Petra Kvitova for a last-4 clash with compatriot Sloane Stephens. Now, in the absence of younger sister Serena, the 37-year-old Venus took 2 hours and 34 minutes to defeat a battling Kvitova 6-3, 3-6, and 7-6, and keep alive a hope of winning her first major since Wimbledon in 2008. Venus won 2 of her 8 Grand Slams at Flushing Meadows in 2000 and 2001. Stevens edged past 16th seed Latvian Anastasia Sevastova 6-3, 3-6, 7-6 to book her place in the semi-finals. She becomes the first unseeded U.S. woman to reach the Final 4 at Flushing Meadows since Venus Williams in 1997. And on to the men's draw. Andy Murray could miss the rest of the 2017 season with a hip issue, which has blighted his campaign. Murray says he would be able to compete in upcoming events in Beijing and Shanghai, and most likely the final 2 events to finish the season in Vienna and Paris due to the hip injury that has been bothering him for a while now. He, however, will start the 2018 season in Brisbane in preparation for the Australian Open. And that's it on sports.
Thanks so much, Mike, for that sports update. We're going straight to the papers once again. And on the cover of The Guardian, we have Southern leaders insist on new constitution, say National Assembly has a role to play in it. And then nothing to cheer about, exit from recession, says PDP. Statistics meaningless to hungry Nigerians. And then ODJ Oyegun urges patience on Buhari's 2019 agenda. And then Misal's retirement letter is authentic, says the Police Service Commission. And then the universities' non-academic unions begin strike on Monday. And then finally, Nigerians will know APC's corruption level after 2019, says Makarfi. All that on the cover of The Guardian. And of course, a photograph of the president and the First Lady disembarking from the presidential jet in Abuja yesterday.
On the cover of The Nation now, end of recession sparks row between APC PDP. Government policies yielding fruits, says ministers. Meanwhile, there's disquiet as minister backs Atiku for 2019. Meanwhile, varsity workers begin strike as government and ASU hold talks. You can continue with that one on page 4 of The Nation. I'm ready for probe, says CJN. You can read more on page 7 of The Nation for that one. EFCC not probing CJN, says Kafarati, also on page 7. Fayose endorses deputy as PDP candidate. There's also something here. PSC says Senator Misal resigned legally. That's one to follow up on. And regarding the resident doctors' strike, apparently the NMA and the doctors differ. And there's so much to talk about in that particular issue. You talked about it earlier today. South African policemen kill a Nigerian. Troubling story there. You can read more about that on page 7 of The Nation.
And then still on the doctor strike, on the cover of the Daily Sun, doctor strike, save us, patients beg the federal government. And then the headline, 2019, I am not for Buhari, says minister. He promised one term. And then, of course, the APC responds by saying, we'll discipline her. And then food prices still high, says the National Bureau of Statistics. And then Misal's retirement letter genuine, says the PSC. Enugu Assembly backs local government autonomy. And then finally, you're not under probe, EFCC tells the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Onohen.
Okay. On the Punch, 2019, minister pledges to back Atiku against Buhari. Read more about that on page 7. It says here, I respect President, but former VP is my godfather, says Al-Hassan. Endorsement of ex-VP shows executive decadence in discipline, says Junaid. Nigeria evacuates 2 pregnant women and 119 others from Libya. More on that on page 15. Federal government offers tax holidays, duty waivers to mining investors. That's coming up quite a bit now, mining and investment. Federal government will dredge River Benue, construct drainage, says Oshimbajo. Let me move forward to the budget here. Government targets 100 billion naira from Islamic bond, Sukuk, right? That's, yeah, okay, on page 24. Federal government summons South African envoy, wants Nigerians killing probed. And there's still quite a bit more. EFCC clears CJN as Onoge declares readiness for probe. Police recant, declare Misal's retirement letter genuine. All that and more on The Punch.
And then finally, on the cover of the Vanguard, I'll resign if Buhari seeks re-election. That's from the Women Affairs Minister. And then a doctor strike, raw deal as hospitals reject patients. And thousands of children, Nigerian children, risk deportation from the US. And NASU, SANU, and NAAT declare strike as federal government ASU meets today. Also, I'm not under probe, says the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Oil price rises to $55 per barrel after Harvey fallout. And then economic recovery, PDP, APC clash over marginal growth. All that on the cover of the Vanguard this morning. That's it on the newspaper headlines this morning. And the headlines were proudly supported by Dettol. Be 100% sure.
We'll be right back to discuss how to prepare for the school resumption. Stay with us.